Okay. All right. For this week's, is it true? So we did have someone that commented in one of our videos that said that they had heard that the Maverick XL won't start production until December for the Maverick XL trim. And that is not true. So, and I got confirmation of this information, which I pretty much knew the fact. So here is, I'm not going to read probably everything in here, but the Maverick has XL orders scheduled for production in every build week through November 30th at this time and will continue into December and beyond. So again, we know the percentage of what they're scheduling is a low number. What was that number? I had it. Let me pull that back out for the Maverick. For the Maverick, so that number for XL is 23%. So 23% of the Mavericks built will be XL trim. So don't forget that. And 29% will be XLT, 25% will be Lariat. So that number on XL has actually gone up. So we do have some people we know that have, they have a carryover 23 to 24, Maverick XL order that haven't been scheduled. And that's the other question is, why aren't they being prioritized? They should be prioritized over other people's orders. And what I need to say to them is that they are within your dealership's allocations. So you have to look at that. So getting on social media and saying in the Maverick Truck Club and such that, hey, I put in a new 24 model year order with a dealer on an XL and I got scheduled. Right. So then people that had a carryover order are furious. They're like, that's not right. Ford said they're going to prioritize my order. And they are within the dealership allocation system. That's the way it works. And it may not seem right or seem fair or anything like that, but it is being done that way. And something to take note of, I know that people post the commodity reports on different sites, whether it be Maverick Truck Club, whether it be the Bronco 6G, different places like that. I actually have mentioned it several weeks ago, probably more like a month ago now, that how you read that report. So I was even reading them wrong. So when you look at that first column that they show you in that report is the column of their capacity for the year. So on this one, as we mentioned, for the Maverick, the XL capacity on the XL or the XL capacity is 23%. That's for the full year. So if you figure out that they can build, let's say, let's just throw 23, let's say 100,000 vehicles is what they're going to build for the year, right? So 23% of that, what is that? 23,000. So they're going to build 23,000 XLs for the entire year. There's 41,000 unscheduled orders. That's going to happen. They're going to build every XL this year. Same way with any of the others. So hybrid engine, their capacity is 55%. 55% of 100. We're just throwing out 100,000. We know they build more than that, or they should. So that's 55,000 hybrids that will be built this year. There's 41,000 orders in the order bank. Every hybrid will be built. So if you see on that right column where it says 68%, what that means is 68% of the unscheduled orders in the order bank are hybrid, not necessarily 68% of the 100,000 for the year. So that's why sometimes I don't like when we see some of these things and Ford says, hey, don't post these on social media. By the way, the commodity report is a confidential report that you should not be putting on there. And if you're somebody that does post those, I know there's some great reliable people and they're doing it for your help. And a lot of them, some of them will, like Tommy, I know, will give you that information of what this means and explains it. But there are some out there that do not. And that's where, you guys get frustrated and you get angry and you get upset. But so I like to make sure you guys know that. So if you're not sure of something you see out there, tag me. I'll help explain things so that we can make it reasonable. And so that way you guys can understand what's going on and be educated on it for you. So that help you out as much as I can. But so that's how that works. So when you see those two different columns, those columns are percentages of two different starting numbers or starting denominator, right? Because a percentage it's math, right? A percentage is a fraction. So 23% is 23 over 100, right? So that's a fraction. So that bottom number, that one that you're basing that percentage off of, or multiplication, whatever, is off of two different numbers. One is off of the scheduled or unscheduled orders, where the other one is for the entire whole production year number. So want to make sure we make that clear when we see that. Sometimes those numbers can change from month to month, and I think actually they're not looking at that actually for the year, but they're looking at it for the production month, because those do change from month to month. So any questions about that? Hopefully I've explained that a little bit. Broncos the same way. When we look at that, like on the hybrid, we know the hybrid production is 3%, but the orders, and that's 3% of, right, the monthly or the yearly, capacity, right, or production. But 16% of the unscheduled orders in the order bank are hybrid or the Heritage Edition. So that's two different numbers we're basing it off of. So hopefully that explains some things there. So there you go.